Here is the last part of Services and Storages chapter, which is chapter number 5 in the book Ionic 6, Create Awesome Apps for iOS, Android, Desktop and Web, authored by Andros Durman. In this last part of this chapter, the author uses what is called as Ionic storage instead of local storage. The reason behind using Ionic storage instead of using local storage is because whenever your mobile phone or your device finds that there is an issue with the spacings, where there is a low disk space limitations, then whatever things which are stored in the local storage or what is stored in the IndexedDB will be wiped off. So instead of that, we want to use what is called Ionic storage. If you want to use Ionic storage in the app which you have developed before, one thing you need to install is this, which is called npm install, and you have to use Ionic /storage angular -angular. Okay, we need to install this. In my case, it's already installed, so I'm not going to go through that. And then once you have installed it, you got to do a few things. You got to open up what is called app.module.ts file. This is app.module.ts file. In the app.module.ts file, under ng module, which is @ng module, we need to include what is called as Ionic storage module.for roots. This has to be added here. Okay. So in the original version, you will find this is not added. So you need to import it here. So once you import, you also need to make sure you imported the line here. Okay. So once that part is done, the next step you have to do is the changes in the favorites.service.ts. In the favorite.service.ts, there are few changes you got to do. Step 1, you got to import what is called storage. So you will go in here, you will say import storage, right? So this is something you have imported here. Once you have imported the storage, the next step you are going to do is to create an object here, which is private storage equal to new storage. And then in the constructor, you have to inject the storage in the constructor. Okay. So these are the few things you got to do. Initially, you need to import it here. Then you need to create an object. Then you need to inject into the constructor. Once you have done all this, the very next step you got to do is to have initialize with async. It's asynchronous initialize. So here you specify you are going to store things in the storage. You are creating a storage. Then wait for the storage to be ready. Then you can read things from the storage or whatever you need to do. Plus here we were using what is called in the add function as well as the remove. We were using window.local storage. We were using local storage. You have to comment those lines and replace it with the Ionic storage, which is this._storage. Why it is underscore storage? Because we have created the object here underscore storage :storage equal to new storage. So when you have done this, plus you need to do it in the remove as well. So for the remove, comment the window.local storage. In the add, comment the window.local storage. Make sure in both cases you added their respective ones. And once you have done that, you could see the code is done. It gives you an error. The error you get here, it says here, favorites.service.ts error export storage was not found in Ionic storage angular, and storage imported as IL was not found as well. And it says we need to export maybe Ionic storage module or storage config token and provide storage. It's a very simple error to be corrected. So in here, if you go in, instead of using Ionic storage as angular, just say Ionic storage in the import. Then automatically it is compiled. So you can go in and check your app. You can go into the regions. You can go in, select the list. Okay, remove from the favorites. Let's say add to the favorites. Go back to the favorites. You'll be there. Right. So this is the whole idea. You just have to add few things here. Let me repeat. There are two main changes you make. Basically, you need to install the package first using npm. Once you have installed it, then you can use in the app.module.ts, you are going to import the Ionic storage, and then you need to also include it in the ng module. Once this is done, you move into your actual service called favorites.service.ts, which is present in src app pages. It will be under services page. So you go in app services favorite.service.ts, not under the pages. Okay, this is the services. So go into it, you have to import the storage, which is under Ionic storage. Once you have imported, then you are going to create an object for it. And in the add function and in the remove functions, you make sure you respectively use the necessary storage. So this is what we are doing here to make sure you're using the Ionic storage here. The reason we use Ionic storage, it is used to store key value pairs. It's also used to store like JSON objects. For a native application, SQLite is used, right? And if you are using progressive web app or web app or web app, any kind of web apps, normally we use IndexedDB or WebSQL or local storage is used. Okay, this is how things are being stored in Ionic storage. Thank you.